other side. So once again, lengthen through fingertip to toe tip. Now let's continue to alternate here, finding a little more reach out of your fingers and even out of your toes. So we're going to start on our feet, challenge our balance a little bit, and then we'll take it down to the floor to finish today's stretch. And remember, this should feel good. So at any point it feels not so good, just relax out of it, take a couple deep breaths, and then rejoin me. 15 seconds here, and we'll take it into a standing knee hug. So once again, we're going to challenge our balance, but if you fall over, no big deal. Let's anchor one foot to the floor, stand up tall, and then draw your other knee up towards your chest. See, if you fall over, no big deal. There, good. Now, press your standing foot down into the floor, pull your knee towards your chest, circle out your ankle one way, then the other, and then let's carefully change sides. So we're going to continue to alternate here as well. So if you wish to spend a little more time on one side or the other, please do so, right? This is your opportunity to stretch your body. You know your body better than anybody else. If you have something to hold on to, go ahead and use that. If you have a wall or a chair or maybe another human, right? Tools are very useful. And we're going to take this right into a standing quad stretch. So once again, we're going to anchor one foot to floor, keeping your knees together as you pull your heel up towards your glutes. So think about pushing through your hip. You can squeeze your glute as you do, and then switch sides. Once again, pull your heel up and then drawing your knees together, and then you can push through your hip. So your hip and knee are in one straight line, going up and down. Yeah. Even here, you can think about pressing down to rise up so you can lengthen through the crown of your head. And finding stability there. That's it. Good. So press down. Just stand tall. And we're going to take this into a wide leg forward fold. So let's start with our feet nice and wide. Luckily, both feet are firmly planted on the floor, right? Toes can be pointing forward, maybe a little in. Bending your knees a little bit so they stay soft. And then push your hips back behind you. So your chest will start to drop towards the floor. And then fold in half. Let your head hang heavy. Like, let it all go. You can shake it out, right? Yes and no, maybe so. You can even start to walk your hands under your body and beyond your feet. So you can turn your fingers away from you and then start to crawl your fingers away from you, pulling your chest under your torso. Yeah. And then start to walk your fingers back. We're going to take this into a walkout plank. So you can start to walk it out forward, bringing your feet to hip width, keeping your feet hip width, lift your hips back to the ceiling, and then walk your fingers back to your toes, roll it up to stand. We're going to reach up high to the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale as you swan dive forward, push your hips back, let your head drop heavy, walk it out into your high plank, stacking your shoulders right over your wrists, and then start to lift your hips back to the ceiling in your downward facing dog and walk your fingers back to your toes. If you can, keep your legs straight to lengthen the back of your legs. Big inhale, exhale as you swan dive forward. Now I'm going to turn to the profile here. And we'll continue working in our down dog. So we'll meet in that down dog in 3, 2, and 1. So firmly press your palms into the floor, drawing your shoulders down your back. You can even soften your knees here, lift your hips a little higher to the ceiling, and then you can press your heels down towards the floor and feel the back of your legs lengthen. Roll out to your high plank, right foot steps outside your right hand. Oh, yes. You can press onto your thigh to open up your hip a bit more. And then let's switch sides. So right foot steps back, lift your hips nice and high. Roll back into plank, left foot will step up. Once again, you can press into your thigh, lengthening through your right hip flexor as well. Feel free to like move around in that, let that feel good. Yeah. And then let's step it back, lift your hips nice and high, roll it out, right foot steps outside right hand. So we're gonna hold this spider lunge here. And open your chest to your thigh, reach your fingers up to the sky. Nice thoracic spine rotation. If it feels good, you can drop your back knee. Once again, you're listening to your body and doing what feels best for it. And then you can drop your right elbow down towards your right foot and continuing to work that rotation here. Staying on this side. So you're grounding through the balls of your left feet. Your left leg is either straight or your left knee is on the floor. Let's do one more big rotation. Press your bottom hand into the floor, open up a little bit bigger, reach up to the ceiling, and then drop your elbow down towards the floor. And then if you haven't already, bring your left knee down towards the floor and press up into your half kneeling position. So tucking your back toes, think about how you can tuck your tailbone under, flexing your glute, nudging through your hips, get that hip flexor stretch. That should feel really nice. Continue to breathe through this. You can think about relaxing into that hip flexor. And we're going to do all of that on the other side. So let's go ahead and bring our hands down and switch feet. So now your left foot's outside your left hand. Lengthening long through your right leg, grounding through the balls of your right toes. And then open up. So you rotate, reach for the ceiling. And dropping your elbow down towards your foot. Once again, you can drop to your back knee if that feels good. Or keep your right leg straight. So try it out. See which one you prefer. And some days it may feel really good to keep your legs straight, and other days it may feel better to bend your knees. So just know that there's always an option available. I like to mix it up. It does feel better, actually. Let's do one more big rotation. Drop your elbow down. And let's drop that back knee down, bring your torso up. So once again, tucking your tailbone under, keeping your glute tight. Start to nudge your hips forward. Front knees lining up over your front ankle. Keep opening up your hip flexor. Relax into that. And we're going to take this right into a cat-cow. So bringing your hands to the floor. Starting in your quadruped position. We're going to move slowly here. So you can untuck your toes. Start by tilting your tailbone up towards the ceiling. And then you'll start to pull your chest forward. Inhale as you look up. And then tuck your tailbone under. So your tailbone is going to initiate that movement. Feel your spine. And then doming through your upper back. Press the floor away from you. Draw your chin in towards your chest. And then let's reverse it. So your tailbone will start to curl up towards the ceiling. Nice and easy here. Inhale as you look forward. And then let's bring it into our neutral position. Tuck your toes, lift your hips. We're taking this right through a downward facing dog once again. shifting your focus to a spot right between your feet. You can pedal out your heels here. And then we're gonna keep walking it up to our hands. It's a transition onto our butt. And let's lengthen our right leg out in front of us, bringing your left foot into your thigh. So think about pressing your thigh into foot, your foot into thigh. Pressing your right heel into the wall in front of you. That will lift the back of your knee off the floor, so that will stretch the back of your leg out a little bit. And then you can just start to press your hips back, drop your chest towards your thigh. And we're going to take this into a figure 4. So rolling onto our backs, left ankle onto right thigh, all 10 toes pull back towards your shins, and you can thread the needle and pull your right leg towards your chest. You'll get that nice stretch on the outside of your left hip. If that's too much, you can release the grip and place your right foot on the floor and press your left knee away from you. So a couple of options there for this figure 4. And then straighten your right leg onto the floor, pull your left knee in towards your chest, and then take your left knee across your body for a supine twist. So you'll shift your eyes towards your left hand as you drop your right knee towards the floor. Square out your shoulders, drop both shoulders back down onto the floor. And relax into the shape, don't force it. Let your left shoulder get heavy. And very carefully, we're going to bring it back up. Roll it on up. And we're going to do the other side. So lengthening along through your left leg, connecting the inside of your right foot to your left thigh. Hips are nice and square. Pull your toes towards your nose, so you're pushing your heel away so that the back of your knee lifts. So you're lengthening the back of your leg, hips stay square, and then you can start to fold over. And we're going to take this into a figure 4 as well. So this time, right ankle's on your left thigh. Remember, you can thread the needle or not, depending on what feels better. All 10 toes are pulling back towards your shins, and then you just breathe here. So inhale, and as you exhale, you can intensify your stretch, so creating space for your body. And then straighten out, that left leg, draw your right knee across your body, open up. So extending your right arm onto the side, and you can just roll your head over. So your eyes are looking at your right hand, maybe even close your eyes. And then feel your right shoulder get heavy, and drop to the floor. Now very carefully coming into fetal position, and then push yourself up into a seated position. Cross-legged or on your knees, take a big inhale. Open mouth, exhale. Roll your shoulders down your back, chest is open, nice and broad. Take a moment here to let all of that soak in. I would like to take a moment to say thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate all of you showing up.